Featuring the world's finest vitamins is here. Today's special coming up in 1 hour from now that you and I wait for. And I have to say, if vanity prevails, yes, it's great for our joints, but it makes our skin look beautiful as well. And you're looking fabulous as always, Andrew Lessman.
I'm turning on Stephen's voice. I'm not turning on Stephen's voice so I could hear him.
See, I don't need any more voices in my head.
You have voices without your IFP.
I'm covered. Seriously. Well, Andrew's here, and I have to say, we have such a great today's special. Thousands of these have already been spoken for. We wait for this. It's actually been a little bit over a year since you've done this, right?
Well, the reason why, there was a worldwide shortage of marine collagen, and we were not about to, as you know, you see this with my teas, we will never compromise the quality of our product. If we cannot make the best product of its kind, we will stop making the product, and that was the case with our marine collagen peptides. But the world supply loosened up. Unfortunately, the price has gone crazy on collagen peptides. In the time we've had it, it's almost tripled the cost of collagen peptides. And also what we've introduced, so we make it exceptionally affordable, you could choose between our marine collagen peptides, same as they've ever been, the same great, easy to dissolve instantly, no flavor, no fishy aftertaste, anything like that. We also have our free-range collagen peptides, virtually identical composition. The great thing is, if you love the marine collagen peptides, we have it. We haven't compromised it at all. We add MSM to both, or our free-range bovine collagen peptides, which are half the price. Across the board,
right.
Half the price. So you choose marine collagen peptides. What I do at home now is I take a scoop of each. So I do a blend, and in the future, we'll actually do a blended product. We'll have our free range, we'll have our marine collagen, and then we'll have a 50-50 blend for those of you who want the blend.
I just have to show you this real quickly because the savings are unbelievable. Like Andrew said, you can choose the marine collagen peptides or the free range. We have not seen savings like this ever. In fact, it's like ever.
Not on this product.
Never.
Yes.
So on the marine collagen, you can choose the 30, 90, 180, or 360. Now, honestly, here's where our pricing will go. You're actually looking at saving, you'll be spending more than you're saving after today. So that's your marine collagen. Then, of course, as Andrew indicated, you can choose the free range. Now, that again is also available in the 30, the 90, the 180, or the 360. Once more, it's almost like a buy one, get one when you compare this to where the savings will go. I mean, it really is.
And we, you know, I often take credit for this, things with CoQ10. We introduced CoQ10 in 1984, glucosamine chondroitin in 1979, lutein and zeaxanthin about 20 years ago, marine collagen peptides. And that's why I've seen the price go crazy on this material. When we first introduced it, and actually the supplier from Japan of our marine collagen peptide blames me because I was on television talking about how wonderful it was and talking about the science. But we were following the science before anyone else, made the product available before anyone else. And I'd been looking for a free-range collagen peptide. Unfortunately, there weren't any quality materials that didn't taste like cow or didn't get murky in your glass. And I'll mix a glass of each up here so you could see that both of these materials are instantly soluble. Of course, you could put them in a smoothie or yogurt, things like that, but you could even put them in a cup of coffee. You can mix them with water, as I will do here. That's what I do at home. So they are truly unique in their quality, and not just their quality in terms of taste and solubility, but with marine collagen peptides and free-range collagen peptides, what makes them important, what makes them unique, is they take collagen, which we should not be able to absorb through our digestive system. It makes collagen absorbable, available, and active. It stimulates the synthesis of collagen in our body. And wrinkling is all about the deterioration of the collagen peptides in our body. A lot of our joint issues, the deterioration of collagen peptides, collagen tissue in our body. It is the predominant protein in our body. 1/3 of the protein in our body is collagen. And unfortunately, as we age, it ages, and you see the difference in those key tissues.
Absolutely. So remember, full presentation coming up at midnight. You're welcome to chime in early.
To blend them really quickly?
In fact, you know what? Why not?
Why don't I just do something quickly? In fact, I won't even do a scoop. I'll just dump a bunch into a glass so everybody can see. That's about 3 or 4 scoops. But just to show you how soluble it is.
Oh, wow. And that's normally the problem with collagen, right? I mean, normally it's
the problem with collagen is the animal equivalent of fiber, meaning that in fiber, we know fiber from plants, we can't absorb it.
Sure.
But collagen from animals, it's gristle. We can't digest it or absorb it.
Right.
So it needs to be partially digested into the oligopeptides, the di and tripeptides to play this role. It can be absorbed. It's been shown in the research and clinical studies that it actually goes to the sites, your joints, your skin, where that vital collagen synthesis takes place. And here, as you can see, it looks cloudy, but it's already
Your health.
dissolved.
All right, so all those details coming up at midnight. I'm telling you, you have to try this product. If you're new to it, when you hear the science, when you hear the research, basically the pricing is a buy one, get one free, whether you're choosing the marine collagen or the free range.
It's actually yummy.
It is.
I like the flavor.
I know. See, I kept my track shoes on because this is like a little variety
Yes,
show.
we're gonna, I
We get our
need to get
steps
more.
in.
This has not been a good week for me, so I try to do at least 100,000 steps a week, and I need to do more steps today.
Lord.
To get 100. Oh, I only have 4,000 more steps to do before. So I don't
Okay.
think I'll make it this week.
Well, that being said, you know,
Yes.
Andrew Lessman, who, by the way, if you are new to HSN, he is really the gold standard. He makes vitamins in a way no one else does. And in fact, a lot of these things you put on the map. Omegas you're doing in a way that no one else is doing, though, too.
And also, I was just talking to the CEO of the company from whom we get, or from which we get our omegas, from Norway. And I'm hoping to go visit them in the future. But they are responsible for the finest omegas, and that's what we're talking about. Their environmental responsibility, that they only harvest at times when it's not going to affect the spawning of fish or affect fish harvest or anything like that. So we make omegas responsibly. We make sure that the material we get is the finest material you could possibly contemplate putting in your body. That I've always talked about being aware of heavy metals, being aware of organic contaminants. We've always tested all our materials. And also, our omega-3s are natural form. Most of the omega-3s on the market are not natural form. They're in the form of an ethyl ester. Triglycerides are the natural form, the better absorbed form. That's the only way to take omega-3s. Also, the most important of the omega-3s, there's EPA, there's DHA, there's even alpha-linolenic acid. The most important is DHA, but that's the one that's least focused on by the leading brands. All the products you see in stores, they're typically 60% or 2/3 EPA. My product is 60% DHA. We flip it upside down, and that makes a dramatic difference in the cost of making the formula, because we cannot use standard industrial omega-3s because they're natural triglyceride form, and we use more DHA because that's the predominant omega-3 in your brain. 2/3 of your brain is fat, almost all of it DHA, and even higher concentrations of DHA are found in the retina of your eye. So if you care about the omega-3s you're taking, you care about your brain, your heart, your eye, then you have to focus on DHA. And that's why we make our formula entirely different from everyone else.
Well, and honestly, those customer reviews read like a love letter. 4.7 on a fish oil product. There is zero contaminants, zero fishy aftertaste. All you do, because it's part of our monthly special, is choose your size of choice. We've got the 30, the 60, the 180, and the 360. But once more, this pricing, because remember, this is where the pricing goes. So after its special has run its course, this is, I mean, for all intents and purposes, like another Today's Special, because as you see, you can actually double your capsule size for the same as what you'll be spending on the 180 after the special has run its course.
This is by far, other than a Today's Special, by far our best pricing of the year.
For sure.
Our monthly specials have become so popular that it affords us the kind of efficiencies and the kind of economies of production that we get from a Today's Special. So the pricing is almost as good as a Today's Special, and if you're wondering when this will be a Today's Special, likely April or May, somewhere around the springtime of next year. So it's a ways away. So you could enjoy the benefits of this pricing, whether you get the 180 or the 360 size. And you're talking about a product that's made entirely differently. You will not get an upset stomach taking this. You will have absolutely no fishy aftertaste. And what's most compelling about this product are the reviews. And the reviews, I think there's at least a few thousand of them.
Oh, yeah, over 3,500.
And about 95% are positive.
They are.
Probably about 85% are 5-star reviews. So it's a product that what I might say about the product in terms of its technical properties or characteristics, hopefully you assess those things. But in terms of experience, the reviews are truly
Stellar.
incredible. And that's what counts. When you get the product home, is it going to disappoint or is it going to fulfill your expectations?
Absolutely. Time does not permit to get through some of the science, but you know, we used to only talk about heart health, and now when we're talking about eyes and our brain and our stress, but no one makes an Omega product like this. So really, if you're going to bother to spend your money, get your bang for your buck. Get the Omega that's going to make a difference. Speaking of which, though, Andrew always listens to you, and by special request, this was something that you had a lot of your friends say, can you do this?
Well, some folks don't eat fish.
Right.
They might have an allergy. They might be vegan. So that's why we made an algal DHA product, because most people don't realize this, but when it comes to omega-3s, fish actually don't make omega-3s. They concentrate the omega-3s from the algae that they eat. So this is a product, an algal DHA, it comes from algae, that targets the most important of the omega-3s, DHA. So that's a product for those of you who might be allergic to fish, or who just don't eat fish.
Right.
Great opportunity.
Also
what I was going to do
available.
really quickly, I was going to read a couple of reviews on omega-3s, and then we'll run along. The reviews are beyond
outstanding,
compelling, and these
They really are.
and we have hundreds of them here, but just gold stars all the way. OMG, I can't even begin to gush on this. The mere fact there's no aftertaste, the capsules are slimmer and shorter. Our capsules are a little more than half the size of a typical capsule, and those typical capsules contain less omega-3. More oil and other things, less omega-3. So we give you more in a smaller capsule. And shorter for easy swallowing, while still being highly concentrated, just beats me. Years and years of fish oil drama, and finally, liquid gold in a soft gel. My mood, concentration, and overall well-being are on the mend. I'm recovering from being rear-ended 5 times, and Andrew's vitamins are congruently working miracles for me. Don't believe in miracles? Then believe in the science behind it, and you will. And we have charts, research charts, that talk about mood, talk about cardiovascular health, talk about triglyceride levels, talk about eye health. So it's your choice. You have lots of side benefits. Love Andrew's products. As usual, another great product from Andrew. It goes down with no issues at all. I'm disabled and money is pretty tight for me. But I know if I get something from Andrew, it will be exactly what he says it is. Andrew, I hope you realize how much help you are to someone like me and how much it is appreciated. Plus, we're neighbors. I'm a Vegas girl and just started giving a vitamin a day to my service dog, Harmony. She thanks you too.
That's nice.
That's great. That's wonderful.
It really is. But you know, that's just, we talk about the benefit of the benefit, but part of these shows is the education, of course, that Andrew provides, because a lot of what we thought we knew about Omega, we didn't know until you helped educate us.
And it's funny, Muriel and I today, we went to the gym and there was a vitamin shop near the gym.
Oh, wow.
And it's a big retail vitamin store. I went in there, I was overwhelmed.
Yeah, I know.
Overwhelmed.
It's kind of crazy, right?
So it's kind of, I think going into places like that can be very confusing.
Daunting.
So what I try to do, we don't have thousands of products. We really just focus on at most a few dozen products, because nutrition should be straightforward, and supplementing your diet should be all about looking at what your diet is, looking at what's important, and supplementing those things that you don't get adequate levels, whether it's omega-3s that we just talked about, or vitamin D, or even now with our Ultimate Eye that talks about the lutein and zeaxanthin, the carotenoids that are abundant in a diet if you eat an abundance of green leafy vegetables. At least lutein is, zeaxanthin's kind of difficult. So nutritional supplementation should be straightforward. With a product like this, it's targeted toward a specific body part and specific benefits for that body part.
Absolutely, 4.6 stars. And let's be honest, there was a time of when Andrew first started offering this where we did it seasonally, but now our eyes take an onslaught. We're staring at something all the time, whether it's a cell phone or a computer screen. I mean, it's certainly more of a barrage than it's ever been. So the fact that you're doing this at a special monthly price is outstanding.
It's funny, I was, a few years ago, he's no longer with us, but he was one of the leading ophthalmological surgeons who developed a lot of the surgical techniques for lens replacement. And I was talking to him about all the age-related issues that we have with our eyes and things like that. And I kind of said, so when do they kind of start? They kind of start when you're 35, 40, 45, 50, when we start noticing things and changes. And he just smiled and laughed. And he said, they start as an infant, the moment you open your eyes. And the moment you open your eyes and you let light in, and unfortunately, that's what we have to do to become part of the world and see the world. But the moment we let light in is a gradual, pernicious, persistent process of damage. And all we can do is we can wear sunglasses when we're outside. We can make sure we protect our eyes from, say, UV radiation. But our eyes have really well-developed systems that have been developed over the eons. And these systems center around ingredients exactly like lutein and zeaxanthin. Lutein and zeaxanthin are essential for healthy, clear vision. But lutein and zeaxanthin are essential for protecting your eye over the course of your lifetime. So the wonderful, as I always say, it's that the wonderful God-given blueprint that an ingredient that's critical for healthy vision today is also critical for preserving vision tomorrow. So it's a wonderful, brilliant design, but only if we give our body the tools, which are lutein, zeaxanthin, and of course, we have other ingredients in this that targets night vision, the anthocyanins from dark purple berries. So these are things that should be all part of our diet, a central part of our diet, but unfortunately, as Americans, they're not. So this tiny capsule, easy to swallow, an ultrafine powder like all my capsules.
Look at that.
And you see a purple color with sort of gold flecks in it. The purple are the anthocyanin-rich berries for your night vision and also for the healthy circulation to and from your eye. And the gold flecks, that's lutein and zeaxanthin.
Nice.
They're responsible for the macular region of the eye. So I often say, a lot of folks look at supplements as something that works on their body. But what lutein and zeaxanthin, they don't work on your eyes. They need to be there for your eyes to work. They're a critical part of how your eye functions. We think of calcium as being an integral part of the structure of our bones, but lutein and zeaxanthin are a critical structure, a critical part of the functioning of our eyes. So we don't want to be without them.
Absolutely not. Monthly special pricing, really outrageous. You can choose
Great
the 30,
pricing.
I mean, really, because this is an expensive product to manufacture, 30, 60, 180, and 360. And once more, we're looking at pretty close, I mean, really for all intents and purposes, kind of that today's special savings. Remember, everything has our 30-day return policy. Everything, when Andrew is here for these short little visits, it's a little 24-hour window, free shipping, we do special pricing. And when we talk about a see the difference product, obviously the difference is clear. When you read those reviews, this is one of those products where we're probably going to have a pretty high standard of measurement in terms of its success. And for this to have a 4.6 star customer pick average, which with almost 1,900 reviews, 1,500 of which are perfect. And it's, I also blame kind of the blue light. You know how they like changed the light bulbs?
Right.
That's not helping matters.
LEDs and things like that, and we're always on our phones and other devices which give off significant amounts of blue light. There's generally a setting you could reduce the blue light on your phone, which just makes it look a little yellower, but it's better for your vision because blue light also has other kind of neurostimulatory effects. That's why we don't want to be, we're better off reading like a book instead of looking and reading in an electronic device just before we go to sleep.
Absolutely.
But
this is something, this is relatively new, right?
Oh, brand new.
Brand new.
We just introduced that.
A few months ago, right?
Our Maximum L+Z, it's a response. A lot of folks out there now, they're ophthalmologists, they're optometrists, their doctors recognize how important lutein and zeaxanthin is. So even though we have 10 milligrams and 5 milligrams of lutein and zeaxanthin in our Ultimate Eye, many doctors recommend even more. And you see how concentrated that is? It's so concentrated that the lutein and zeaxanthin, it almost takes on like an orange hue. That's actually a very pretty color.
It is.
And so that's
all natural.
That's 12 milligrams and 6 milligrams respectively in each capsule of lutein and zeaxanthin. And that was specifically in response to those requests of those folks who were directed by their doctors to have even higher levels of lutein and zeaxanthin because they are a critical part of the protective mechanism of our retina, especially the macular region of our retina. So ophthalmologists, optometrists, opticians recognize the importance. What's great also, lutein and zeaxanthin, the second highest concentration other than our eye is our brain, and now an incredible amount of research is rolling in on lutein and zeaxanthin and protecting the brain as it ages.
Oh, no
so
kidding.
Even, yet again, you don't have to worry about side effects with my products. You get to worry about, not worry, you get to enjoy other benefits. So all these years you've been getting lutein and zeaxanthin for your eyes, who knew it was also helping your brain?
Absolutely. Remember, it's a special purchase pricing. We don't often get a chance to talk about that, so hopefully you can grab yours. Hey, don't forget, now this is a variety show. We're getting our our little steps in, but at 12 midnight, just 40 minutes from now, with thousands already gone, the brand new Marine Collagen or the free range collagen today's special.
Best pricing we've had, best savings we've had, and now you have a choice of our marine collagen peptides, or half the price are free-range collagen peptides, our grass-fed free-range collagen peptides.
Absolutely. Well, if you are new to HSN, of course, Andrew Lessman is here. We love it when he's here. He makes the world's finest vitamins. He does it in a way that no one else does. And if you are looking at a launching off point, if you really want to know where to put your toe in the water, there is no other one vitamin or one pill a day solution in the vitamin world that is like this. Absolutely nothing else in the world.
And it's also something that, unlike the typical brands, even something, this product contains lutein, zeaxanthin. It doesn't have as much lutein and zeaxanthin as my eye product, but the leading multivitamins, I think that one of them gives a little bit of lutein, a tiny bit, but we give a full 1,000 micrograms of lutein, 1,000 micrograms of lycopene, and 500 micrograms of zeaxanthin. Just those three carotenoids, if we eliminated them from this product, to give you a sense of why they're not in the leading brands, it would almost cut the cost of the product in half.
Oh, wow.
That just those three carotenoids are so expensive, which is why they're so glaringly absent from the leading brands. But this is a product, the 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate, a special form of folic acid for those of us, including me, that can't metabolize normal folic acid. About maybe as much as 2/3 of the population can't metabolize standard folic acid. So that special form, again, if we eliminated that, that would reduce the price of this probably by 1/3. And then our special form of B12, our special form of vitamin E. So when you look at this product and all these special ingredients, and at a high potency, literally a separate potency of vitamin D, 2,000 IU of vitamin D, to think that it ends up being, say, pennies a day. I think at less than 30 cents a day, you're getting all of those nutrients at those levels that you won't see in any of the leading brands. Plus, it's a small capsule. It's a little tiny capsule, a small capsule, easy to swallow. It's soft, so it gives way rather than your throat, and then it's an ultra-fine powder. So it's never going to upset your stomach like the leading hard brands that are made. Well, how do I say this nicely? They don't care about you. If they cared about you, why would they put artificial colors in their products? They kind of want to fool you. A tablet is harder to swallow. A tablet's more likely to cause stomach upset. When it comes to medications and things, people will say, we prefer a capsule. In fact, a lot of the tablets, they cover with gelatin to make them look like a capsule. Why not put an ultrafine powder, which is how these nutrients are delivered in the first place to a factory? Why not keep them in that natural powdered form, which ensures better solubility, better bioavailability, and it eliminates the risk of stomach upset? So it's very straightforward to do this, but unfortunately no one else tries to. And there isn't a multivitamin like this anywhere on the market.
Not even close. 4.7 star customer pick rating. Let me show you the value in just a couple of different ways. First of all, you just choose your size, 30, 60, 180, or 360, and holy moly. Again, great savings here, wonderful customer reviews. But just as a quick aside, this is just to show you just one of the ways that Andrew sets us apart. And of course, no additives, no binders, no fillers, made with the energy of the sun. Just the vitamin B product alone would be valued at $70. The vitamin D, you would be looking at around $65. The calcium, the vitamin C, and the magnesium. So just those 5 separate elements would be over $222. That doesn't factor in the lutein, the zeaxanthin, all the other things.
The lutein, lycopene, and zeaxanthin, those, if you put that on there, that would take it well over $300.
I would say probably.
So it's, as they often say, there's a chart I read from, I think it's from the from some government agency where they recommend multivitamins because they're more affordable because they combine all of these different nutrients into a single capsule or single pill. And that's a perfect description of our product because you're getting all of these ingredients. And mind you, we don't add anything else. Other companies, they'll add colors and fillers and binders and flowing agents and lubricants because lubricants make the capsule close easier after you fill it. But we'd rather have a difficult time closing our capsules than subject you to a lubricant or additive. And the only reason we do that is because we make everything ourselves. Most of the vitamins you see on the internet, most of the vitamins you see in stores are not made by the company that's selling them. They're made by contract manufacturers who have no direct relationship with you. We make everything ourselves. So when I read your reviews, if they're not perfect, I take them very personally. And that's why we've, over the years, and our collagen peptides at midnight is a perfect example.
It's true.
That's a product that 15 years ago, the taste wasn't great. Solubility was good, taste wasn't great. We went back to work. It was a product that started averaging about 2 stars. Now it's over 4 stars, which is not easy to accomplish. But I pay attention to reviews. I take them personally because I want to have a product that performs perfectly when you get it home. And I think a multivitamin, typical multivitamins, don't have 95+% positive reviews.
Absolutely not. So that's why I say if you are new, of course, I promise, hopefully you'll stick around through this entire show because I know you're going to learn so much from Andrew. We all know knowledge is power. But remember, there is no other one pill or one vitamin, one pill a day solution in the vitamin category that can even go toe to toe with this. There is nothing else like it. Nothing.
Plus, our vitamin D at 2,000 IU. You could read the independent reviews on our vitamin D. You're getting the same vitamin D. Our vitamin B12, our methylcobalamin, a natural form of B12, 99% of the products you'll see in supermarkets or pharmacies are a synthetic form of B12, cyanocobalamin, that you actually liberate trace amounts of cyanide when you metabolize it. That's if you could even absorb it, because most B12 is absolutely not absorbable, not active when taking orally. Ours is protected, so it can benefit you when you swallow it orally, and we give you 250 micrograms. That's my separate B12. So just the separate B12 and the separate vitamin D, out of more than 24 ingredients, is an absolutely unique opportunity to enjoy a multivitamin. So it's the foundation of everything. By everything, I mean it's a foundation even of your diet. What defines a healthy diet? If it's nutritious. What does nutritious mean? It contains the key nutrients. And what are the key nutrients? They're micronutrients, vitamins and minerals. And that's what defines this product, vitamins and minerals.
Absolutely. But you know what? Everything has a 30-day return policy. When you read the reviews, and hopefully you take time to do that, they read like love letters. There is no repeating. There are no additives. There are no binders. There are no fillers. Made with the energy of the sun. So there's nothing but side benefits here. And you'll hear us talk about that a lot. But no kidding. If you have no idea where to put your toe in the water, we do that special purchase pricing. We do the 30-day return policy. We're doing free shipping on everything. That's for these little mini visits that Andrew does as a great way for you to give thanks to your health and the health of somebody that you love and care about. It's like that little 2-second insurance policy. And at this kind of savings, I mean, why not take advantage of it? Especially if you just consider, and what's so funny, because these are abbreviated presentations, of course, but even your vitamin B is different. Your vitamin D is different. There are so many stories to tell
The B12,
here.
as I said, is unlike anything you're going to see in any typical store. The vitamin D as well. So just those 2 nutrients alone make a difference that you could see, a difference that you'll feel. But I just to summarize this one chart, despite the small size of the capsule, because there's no additives, we still give higher levels of D3, B1, B2, B5, B6, B12, selenium, vitamin C, lutein, lycopene, zeaxanthin, vitamin E, biotin, and chromium than any of the leading brands. We give 500 micrograms of biotin. You'll find those levels in some beauty products.
Right.
A typical multivitamin gives you 30 because it's so expensive. We give 17 times more. But I'm just going to read some quick reviews here. I just grabbed from the top of the stack there. It says, quality product. Andrew, I'm recovering from breast cancer, and so I truly appreciate you improving on an already outstanding product. I took my container into to the doctor, and she was very impressed. This is my 2nd year on Essential One, and I'm convinced that between this and Ultimate Friendly Flora, I'm in better health today.
Nice.
That's great. Nothing in this world that beats him. Personally, I will never be without Andrew's products. I've been taking his supplements for 2 decades when he first appeared on QVC. That's 28 years ago.
Wow, that's wild.
And I was just back there.
I know.
There is nothing better than ProCaps Labs, absolutely nothing. I know about supplements. At one time in my life, I was asked to sell another brand and give feedback. I went off Andrew's for a short while. Big mistake. Back I went, and I will never, even try another brand of supplements. We'll do one more. The best. I've been taking Andrew's vitamins for over 10 years. I admit to trying other brands because his can be more expensive, but I always came back to his because of the quality. I try to keep track of his HSN visits because you can get discounts and free shipping. We always have.
Absolutely.
Everything's
True.
on special pricing during a visit. Everything is free shipping. All products are made environmentally conscious. I highly recommend all of Andrew's products from Roro in New Jersey. Yeah,
Nice.
that's great.
But see, that's just it. You really realize what a difference they make when you do maybe cheat on Andrew or run out. I mean,
I think it's a good opportunity. What I always say is nothing shows how unique and different our products are than learning about someone else's.
True.
And the more you know about their products, the more you'll appreciate the lengths I go to make our products different.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you, now remember, this is a little variety show. We like to give you a little sprinkling of the monthly specials and some great opportunities.
This is a product we haven't talked about for a while. And it's an incredibly important product because cholesterol is an issue that many of us, we face that issue and we deal with it taking statin drugs or cholesterol-lowering drugs. I think they might be among the most popular, if not the most popular class of drugs taken in America now. They're drugs like Lipitor, Crestor, Pravastatin, Rosuvastatin, Pitavastatin, there's a whole long list of them. They have a certain mechanism of action. And that mechanism of action is acting as what's called an HMG-CoA reductase inhibitor. So it's an enzyme in your liver that produces, it's a little assembly line of production that produces cholesterol. So that enzyme interferes with that production, that assembly line, so you produce less cholesterol. They're very effective at lowering your cholesterol level. And this works perfectly with them. This is not a drug. It's not a medicine. It works in your digestive system instead of your liver. So using this, you can reduce the need for your medication. You could potentially eliminate it, do that working closely with your doctor, or you can achieve an even better number, either taking less or staying at the same dose. But this has no conflict whatsoever with cholesterol-lowering drugs. That's a question we're very frequently asked. This ingredient is approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, just as they would approve, say, a medical claim, a drug claim for a drug. This looks like it has a drug claim, if you read the screen there, that it could lower total and LDL cholesterol. That's because this is a very unique ingredient. And what this is the plant equivalent of cholesterol. So plants, when you read a peanut butter label and it says contains no cholesterol, of course not. Plants don't contain cholesterol. Cholesterol is only found in animal tissues and animal cells. So any plant material has an equivalent molecule that's called a plant sterol, a phytosterol. Animals, cholesterol; plants, phytosterols. Phytosterols have a unique property. They're very poorly absorbed. But in your digestive system, your body sort of mistakes them for cholesterol. So it inhibits the absorption of cholesterol and the reabsorption of bile salts. So even if you eat no cholesterol, this product can still lower your cholesterol by inhibiting the reabsorption of bile. Bottom line, it's an ingredient that taking one capsule twice a day, 2 different meals, or taking, say, a capsule with each meal, each time you eat, you can expect to lower your cholesterol not just a few percent the way oatmeal or oat bran might, but 10%, 15%, 20% or more if you make significant changes in your diet, say called the portfolio diet, increase fiber intake, reduce saturated fat and cholesterol, and you can get reductions in cholesterol that you'd only expect from a cholesterol-lowering drug.
I mean, no kidding. You read those reviews, you know, just like with the eye product that hopefully you're still calling on. We were saying to see the difference. This is a measure the difference product. So we don't get a chance to talk about it a lot. So you can choose the 60, the 180, the 360, or actually the 720. Nice to see that bigger size.
That's a size that we introduced, and the 720 is actually the price that we originally introduced the 360 at.
Oh, wow.
So this is another product that in, say, the 20-plus years we've had this product available, that the cost has only gone down. So at 720 capsules,
that's nice.
You're talking about less than 20 cents a capsule. So if you're taking 2 capsules a day, it's less than 40 cents a day. So you take 1 capsule, say, with your 2 largest meals each, or you could take 1 with each meal. But it's not something that's going to make a small difference. You should read the reviews on this product. It's a product that makes a significant difference. The moment you get into differences of, say, 10 or 15%, you're talking about if your cholesterol is 200 or so, you're talking about a reduction down to 160, 170. So you're talking about a significant difference in cholesterol level, which is associated with a significant reduction in cardiovascular risk.
I mean, it's unbelievable. By the way, I just as an aside, I'm actually on auto ship for the Cholesticare with the Fibromucil, so
Right.
two of my favorite products together, but let's just...
Which we'll talk about Fibromucil in a moment, because Fibromucil, the way Cholesticare works, as I described before, it sort of blocks the absorption of cholesterol. Not sort of, that's exactly how it does, and it could do so to the tune of 30, 40% or more. So it blocks the absorption of cholesterol. And then the special fiber in Fibromucil, which also is allowed to have its own cholesterol reduction claim pursuant to the US FDA, that specific fiber, it sort of works, as I say, sort of a sponge and a broom, that the two of them, the Fibromucil then sweeps it out. So while the Cholesticare is acting kind of like a sponge and keeping things out from being absorbed, the Fibromucil then acts as a broom, sweeping it out of your body. The two hand in hand increase the reductions you'll experience. So if you want even better results from Cholesticare, just take 1 or 2 capsules of Fibromucil along with it.
Absolutely. So you take it, you see those numbers start to drop. You do.
And especially when we talk about Fibromucil, I don't know if the graphic came up on Fibromucil on the
They
screen
did a
at all.
little, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
But so with Cholesticare, again, these are ingredients that it's not as though folks, the drug companies are clamoring for a natural ingredient to be approved for a cholesterol reduction
Right.
claim. I'm sure they opposed it vehemently. So it's not something that, unless this ingredient was effective and absolutely safe, and the way it works the same way if you look at people who are vegetarians or vegans, they they have lower cholesterol levels. And one of the reasons they have lower cholesterol levels is they have an increased intake of the plant sterols that are present in Cholesticare. They get them from the natural vegetable, nut, and seed source. That's exactly what we do in this product.
Okay, by the way, I wish I had the bottle out here, a 1,000 count. Bravo.
Oh, on Fibromucil.
On Fibromucil.
On Fibromucil, we have a 1,000 count.
We do.
So again, Fibromucil is a product that ends up being less than a dime a capsule.
Yeah.
And even just in terms of the most natural, healthy path to regularity, just take a capsule of that with each meal or 2 capsules with each meal, and you will be surprised how the mildest fiber in the world is actually the most powerful fiber in the world in terms of regularity.
Indeed. Okay, well, we're moving along to something that is in my shopping cart right now. We used to
Right.
call this a triple threat, but it's kind of like the holiday survival kit, because this is the time of year where very soon, it all starts with those darn little Halloween candies. And it all
I
goes
always say,
downhill.
it's downhill from Halloween. It's Halloween, and then Thanksgiving, and then
like, oh,
Christmas
Lord.
and holiday parties, and then New Year's, and by the time we're
shot.
done, we've whatever gained 5 or 8 pounds, and our liver is not in the same shape it was.
No,
So, yeah.
but our tummies, see, that's just it. And
So it's still September. We can make some
see,
good decisions.
exactly. So we're going to hit the
hopefully.
ground running. This is
Yep.
a runaway favorite. It always sells out. It's a customer pick. And just to be clear, so when I say triple threat or your holiday survival kit, you are getting one of each of your Digest-Assure, your aloe vera, and of course your friendly
Right.
flora. And then you just choose, if we get the 30, it's a 30, 30, 30.
Yeah, we should actually change the graphics one of these days so it says like 4 times 30.
Oh, yeah.
Or 4
You're
times
right.
90, or 3 times 90.
Right.
or 3 times 180.
Right.
So on that large size, you're actually getting 540 capsules.
Capsules, yes.
And so you're getting, and Digest-Assure is really the foundational digestive product. All digestion hinges on enzymes breaking down the complex molecules in food. That we put some crazy things in our mouth and in our bellies, yet our body has the capacity, oftentimes not all that comfortably and oftentimes rather problematically, but our body has the capacity to break down these complex foods and break them into their constituent molecules so we could absorb them and use them and survive and live. Without enzymes, that doesn't happen. This is incredibly complex chemical work. So what Digest-Assure is intended for, as we all get older, if we're under stress, different challenges we have, our digestive enzyme secretion suffers with age. So Digest-Assure is kind of like the essential one, the multivitamin of digestion. It's the foundational ingredients, the enzymes to support healthy digestion. And then our friendly flora. We now know our colon contains more friendly flora cells, more probiotic cells than we have cells in our body. It's now viewed that most conditions in our body that we deal with as we get older, our microbiome, what is going on in our colon and in our body in terms of our probiotic environment, our friendly flora environment, has a clear relationship to brain function and mood and all these different things, not just digestion and immune function. So that's our friendly flora product with 5 billion colony-forming units per capsule. And then last but not least, our aloe vera, which is our gentle, soothing digestive product. And it's designed because the way we eat, the way we live, what we do, the medications we might have to take often can be very irritating and challenging to our digestive system. And aloe vera has a long history, thousands of years, of being soothing both externally and soothing internally to our digestive system.
So just to be clear, I know Andrew is kind of pointing this out, but you choose 30, 90, or 180. But what that means is you're getting 30 of each, 90 of each, 180 of each. So that's clear. So if you do the 30, you're getting 30 of the flora, 30 of the DigestiSure, and 30 of the aloe vera. And then just follows concurrently from there, 90, 90, 90, 180, 180, 180. It's interesting because I was telling Andrew I had a little bit of an upset tummy before the show, and I'll tell you what, when things are not all working in synchronicity.
You're just getting so nervous because you're on.
I was so gobsmacked and awestruck.
After 23 years,
it's
yes.
true. It's true. But you know, that's not a happy day. I mean, when you're that's not a good day for anybody.
I mean, our digestive system. What is our digestive system? It's over 20 feet long, and it's sort of funny to me. Everybody thinks about the large intestine, the colon, and the small intestine is really, well, for lack of a better expression, where the rubber meets the road. The small intestine is where serious digestion and nutrient absorption takes place. It's also more than twice the length of the large intestine. It should hire a lawyer because I think it's like unfair advertising. The colon is the large intestine, but the really long one that has all the serious work to do, that's the small intestine. It's just not getting respect with its name. But again, digestion is what takes place really in the stomach and the small intestine. So those enzymes are critical, and aloe vera, it's soothing, and where aloe vera really plays its role is again in the stomach and small intestine. Probiotics, what's interesting, probiotics really tend to populate the colon. So you have to make a probiotic product that you know will survive the harsh environment of the stomach and small intestine. Because essentially, relatively speaking, the small intestine, the small bowel, is relatively a sterile structure compared to the colon, which is resplendent with probiotic and friendly flora. That's the way it's supposed to be. So these products are designed to be sort of a foundational opportunity for you to experience a natural way to support digestion. You walk down a supermarket aisle and you just see countless products that are really just problem-oriented. What this product is really solution-oriented. It's designed to look at how your body works. Enzymes are the key to all digestion. We start with the enzymes in DigestiSure. Probiotic environment is critical to our immune system, our healthy digestion, nutrient absorption. That's our friendly flora. And then aloe vera, because there's such harsh chemical work that goes on in our digestive system. Aloe vera contains these soothing compounds. And again, a lot of us approach issues with our stomach where we're just loading up on these proton pump inhibitors that are these more modern approach to sort of antacids. And we need to use them very cautiously. Talk to your doctor about using them very cautiously because, like all medicines, they have side effects. And when you start using these proton pump inhibitors, it affects gastric pH, it affects the entire balance in your digestive system, with it the probiotic environment, the functioning of your small intestine. So it's a complicated environment, and you want to do everything with the utmost of good counsel from your doctor and the utmost restraint.
Absolutely. I know we kind of differentiated this, but remember, on that 30, it's 30, 30, 30.
Right.
On the 90, it's 90, 90, 90. And then on the 180, it's 180, 180, 180.
Yes. So you're getting 540, 270, or 90 capsules respectively.
Yeah, it's a great
So
value.
divided between the three products.
Most definitely.
And you use them as you need them. You don't have to take them at every single meal.
Right, and for a lot of us, I actually look to these products every single day, but when they are here, holiday survival, digestion survival, however you look at it. Okay, this product When you launched it, people lost their minds because it
it's-
took so much hard work on your part. There's no other substitute in the world quite like it. I love it. Fooled my palate, and I've got a pretty picky
Oh, no,
palate when it comes to food
It's
and flavor.
unlike any other sugar substitute.
It is.
First of all, it's the only sugar substitute that I'm aware of that doesn't contain sugar.
Right.
Sugar or carbohydrate or an alcohol sugar, because they all do. So we use an amino acid, a sweet amino acid, and an amino acid that actually helps to promote and support healthy blood sugar levels. So, but again, the reason why other companies don't do that is it costs 10 times as much to do it. Notwithstanding that, the price of this product is incredibly affordable. We also have a stevia that no one else has, so none of the other packaged stevia products contains a non-GMO version of stevia like ours that doesn't have the unpleasant taste of the other stevia products. And again, it's just like any other product. It's a powder, so you can see it right there. It's a granular powder, and I just put my finger in it. It's just incredibly sweet. The reviews are incredible. It's a product that delivers, because most people don't realize when you replace that 4-gram packet of sugar with a sugar substitute that still contains a gram or so of sugar, because legally they could do that and still have it say it's sugar-free and non-caloric. That's just the way the rules were written. And I wonder who influenced the rules to have them written in that fashion. So ours contains no sugar at all, and also just the glycine that's part of the product. If you were going to purchase that glycine separately, the glycine, the amino acid, which many people purchase glycine separately, and each packet you get a gram of glycine. It's like 2 500 milligram capsules of glycine. So that large size is like getting 1,000 capsules of glycine, this healthy amino acid, and that could cost over $100 on its own.
Right, it can. So let me just show you your different choices here. We got the 100, the 250, or the 500. I am in love with this. I love this product. Like I said, it fooled my palate, no kidding. But then when you talk about the glycine, and Andrew, you tell me, should we jump to this one? We've got like a little comparison between what you could expect to spend for just the glycine element of this.
If you were just looking for glycine, the same glycine, say that's found in 500 packets, you would on those, and you see 100 count, 250, 500 count, that's the count of glycine you're getting in Sucrese. But just those other brands on the market.
Right, check that out.
You'd be spending 240, I think even my glycine, it's somewhere, we're not on that chart, but my glycine is somewhere in there, I think.
Okay.
But we're somewhere around, I think around $79 or $80. So the glycine itself as a separate supplement is going to be more expensive than the Sucrese, and you get the benefits of the most advanced natural non-GMO stevia extract in the world. And instead of combining with sugar, what we did is we combined it with an amino acid that you want to support healthy blood sugar, that you want to promote healthy blood sugar metabolism. So it's the ultimate sugar substitute, because unlike all the others, it actually doesn't contain sugar. We substitute other ingredients.
Absolutely, and a little bit goes a long way with this too, I should point out. I mean, it's really satiating.
If anything, we overcompensated with each packet. So each packet is really 2 teaspoons or more. So if you're a 1 teaspoon of sugar kind of person, you'll be able to use that packet twice. So, or at least, so, or you could use more quantity of liquid. But you just use it to meet your taste.
And I have to say...
And less is more when you use it.
Less is more, but I'm telling you, this will fool your palate. It absolutely will. You know, whether you're putting it in your tea, whether you're putting it in your overnight oats, whether you use it to make that, you know, anything.
And the key is less is more. So see how little you could use. Of course, it means you buy less, but that's great.
Right.
So less is more, because it's a really potent form of stevia. It doesn't have the bitterness, it doesn't have the metallic component, and the glycine, the amino acid, just gives it a nice, cool sweetness as well.
Absolutely, because, you know, listen, you can't pick up a magazine or watch a news show. You hear about all these other, you know, sugar substitutes. And a lot of the ones with stevia sometimes have that, like that little...
Oh, well, frankly, I never liked stevia. The only stevia I liked is I had a little stevia plant, and I would take the leaves off, and I'd put the leaves in, say, a cup of tea. But any of the stevia extracts, they were kind of sweet. But for me, they had this weird bitter
Right,
finish.
some kind of thing.
This
Yeah.
this has more of that roundness, as I like to say, of a more normal, natural sugar substitute. It's not sugar. There's no calories. All you're getting is a gram of glycine.
Absolutely. It's beautifully balanced. It's a great special purchase price. The glycine is really kind of like a side bonus, if you want to look at it that
bonus
way.
because,
It is.
again, many of us using sugar substitutes, we're concerned about our blood sugar
Sure.
level. We all are. I mean, we all want to have a healthy blood sugar level, a healthy A1C. So why get even a gram of sugar in each packet, which just leaves me scratching my head that sugar substitutes could still contain sugar? That you look at all the top artificial sweeteners in the pink and blue packets.
Right.
Read the first ingredient on the back of the label. It's dextrose. Dextrose and maltodextrin. That's simple sugar, that's glucose, and then maltodextrin is just complex carb. So it's just astounding to me if they know the customers who are using their product, they're basically trading a 3-4 gram packet of sugar for 1 gram with an artificial sweetener. So we have no sugar, no carb, no alcohol sugar, and just an amino acid and the best stevia in the world that no one else has.
Absolutely. It always sells out. It's a customer pick. It's a weekend special. Now, we are 10 minutes away, about 10 minutes away from their first official look at our brand new Collagen Today special.
And I think on Monday, Muriel is going to be cooking with you, and I think she's going to be doing something, a recipe, because she made this great olive oil cake, and she just used the sucrose.
She did.
And we're going to be making a bulk version of sucrose in the future.
Good. Yeah,
It'll
you
come with
should.
its own little scoop, so you'll be able to use that for baking. So rather than having to open a half a dozen packets, but you can do that too.
That was the most requested recipe we've had on the kitchen show thus
great.
far.
It's amazing. I love it.
It's so good.
I love it, and it's healthy
I know.
too.
I've
That's
been
what's
craving
fantastic.
it. All right. Well, again, craving our today's special. We are just a few minutes away. This is another one of Andrew's top picks, top reorders, #1 customer rated. In fact, we used to call this the nurse's product. Incidentally, we used to say that there was a measure the difference product, that women were wearing their shorts, they were wearing their skirts again, because it is quite literally a see and feel the difference product. If you love it and take it religiously like I do, if you go to bed and your legs keep moving, I don't care if you're sitting for a living or if you're standing for a living or if you're on your feet a lot, this help gives us our lives back in a natural way that no one else in the world does. But that being said, it is a weekend special price. You choose 30, 60, 180, or 360. Big savings. You read those customer reviews, and boy, you want to talk about getting emotional. People get really emotionally bonded to this product, because when I say it helps give us our lives back, we're either sitting for long periods of time or standing for long periods of time, and nature is designed to work against us. I mean, it really is.
No, what happens as we get older, especially say in the summer, but just as we get older, even if we have normal blood pressure, even if we're normal body weight, but if we have high blood pressure or other circulatory issues, or we're overweight, it makes matters worse. But all of us, I don't care if you're in perfect health, as you age, the blood vessels in your legs change. They change visibly. You could see the difference. And then physically, you sense the difference, the comfort level. There's swelling in our feet that happens over the course of a day. It happens to all of us. It's gravity doing its thing. The way our body works are all the largest muscles in our body are in our lower extremities. Our heart has to pump blood down to those extremities to nourish them, provide oxygen, nutrients, to carry away waste products. So our heart is a very powerful pump. It pumps blood down to those extremities. And how do those extremities get the blood back up? It's not as though there's another heart in our feet pumping it back up. So basically, and if you notice, even when I'm up here, I tend to move a lot. That's one of the ways that our body can manage the muscles in our legs and valves in our veins work together to help move that blood up. But ultimately, what's getting that blood back up is pressure from behind. So our body's response to the blood that's not moving back up is to pump more blood following it. And what does that do effectively? It's like inflating a bicycle tire or anything, or an inner tube. What you're doing is you're pumping more fluid down there, and more fluid means those tissues enlarge. And if those blood vessels and veins aren't as healthy as they could be, aren't as toned as they used to be, what happens is fluid seeps out. And as fluid seeps out, you notice the tissue swelling. Your ankles are swelling, your calves are swelling, your feet are swollen. You notice the blood vessels themselves enlarging. And that is the one thing that's unanimous in the research on this product. is that visible, measurable difference in the size of blood vessels and veins and the size of the tissues, the ankles, the circumference of your ankle or your calf.
Absolutely. I mean, when I say these reviews read like a love letter, no kidding. When we used to joke that we would sell it with a tape measure. It's funny because I've known Andrew for over 20 years. He's been on television talking about vitamins for almost 3 decades. He's been making and manufacturing products. And what a rare gift it is to speak directly to the manufacturer. He manufactures this for us. But we used to say it should come with a tape measure. And one of the last times I worked with Andrew, I ran into him. I wore shorts. I haven't worn shorts literally in decades. But it is true when you give your body what it wants. I mean, do your hands swell? Do your feet swell? Do you see kind of those fashion, war wounds from stockings or the tight belt or the tight waistline? That's what, our bodies are working against us.
No, and it's not as though, I mean, we're just aging. We're changing. And with that, we could choose to do it, say, more gracefully. And this is an ingredient, the key ingredient in this product. It's been recommended by doctors in Europe now for about 70 years, has an abundance of clinical research and clinical studies that I quote. When we have more time on the product, I quote them in detail, because the quotes from that science is beyond inspiring and exciting. And it's a product in Europe. It's regulated differently. We're not selling this for any diseases or things like that. If we're selling it for disease, it's for the human condition. So this is not something that's coming with medical claims. And in Europe, it's regulated differently. So it's actually recommended by doctors for the healthy circulation in patients' legs and other issues. And there's something I also talk about beyond the circulation in our legs, and this is something that I always try to say as politely as possible, but there's blood vessels that also can tend to get enlarged when we might strain them, and again with age and things like that, and also with digestive issues. And those are the blood vessels in sort of a nether region would be sort of hemorrhoids. So that's the sort of thing that the natural distension in blood vessels can occur if those blood vessels aren't as toned as they could be. So again, this is an ingredient that just provides the natural ingredients to provide a healthier tone to those fragile blood vessels in our legs, those fragile blood vessels elsewhere. So it's an opportunity to make a difference in an area where I think part of the reason this product gets crazy reviews,
yeah, it really does,
is that it so surprises folks when they get it home, especially that in a matter of days, 30 days is an abundance of time to see a difference. You take 2 capsules a day, and this is an opportunity to see just a profound difference in something that we thought we just kind of gave up. There's nothing you could do. But for me, I'm an avid runner, hiker, mountain biker, and I would not be able to maintain the level of activity that I have at my age. I mean, I've been making vitamins for 40 years. I've been on this planet for over 60 years, hard to believe. But I couldn't do what I do the same way I did it when I was, in my late teens and 20s. If I wasn't taking a product like this, it really makes that profound a difference.
Absolutely. And when I said whether you're sitting a lot, which a lot of us are just, our jobs require us to be behind a computer, or you're standing a lot, or you're on your feet a lot. I mean, for many of us, when that circulation, and it's part of the natural aging process, but there is something you can do. But no kidding, my jewelry used to feel a little more uncomfortable. Your shoes aren't necessarily as comfortable. That's why they always tell women don't buy shoes, unless you're wearing them at the end of the day, because your feet are going to be bigger at the end of the day. And this really, that's why it gets rave reviews. It is a 30-day return policy. It's free shipping. It's special purchase pricing, and you can see and feel a difference for yourself. And that's why it's one of your #1, reorder products.
It's a product we never, ever, ever anticipated. When I introduced this over 20 years ago, I knew the research and clinical studies were compelling. But I didn't realize what an incredible difference it would make in so many people's lives. This would become one of our top 3 reorder products, that it really took on a life of its own. And when you read the reviews, whether you're reading reviews about leg cramps or or just legs that just seem you lay down and you want to go to sleep, but your legs are still awake. They're just restless and keep on moving or vibrating, whatever the sensation might be, or it's just the swelling or the unattractive veins or blood vessels. It's an opportunity to make a difference in an area that most of us think we can't. And I really, on a product like this, I encourage you to read the reviews, because the reviews,
For sure.
they speak volumes about what you can expect.
Absolutely. And remember, they're just like we've been saying throughout the show, there is no other product quite like this. We are doing, of course, that weekend special pricing. It is a runaway customer pick, a runaway customer favorite, one of his top reorders. Really and truly, it's something that you need to try for yourself. So the 30, 60, 180, or 360, all available, of course, with that free shipping and that special flex. So we see you there, I think, whether you're trying to get your life back, and that's why we really encourage you to read those reviews. People really do get emotional about this, because if your life is being compromised, you know, whether you're feeling uncomfortable, whether you feel like your legs are still moving when you go to bed, whether you do have to sit for long periods of time, it really is a natural way, just like all these shows we say, to empower you and get your life back.
And what's great, where I often, what do they say, I don't rest on my laurels, that we had a great product originally with 500 milligrams of diosmin. Then we increased the diosmin by 20%. Then we added other ingredients, including butcher's broom, which butcher's broom almost rivals diosmin in terms of the clinical research and science. So it's a product that we have only continued to improve, such that as great as it was before, it's even better now. And so I encourage you to give it a try. It's the summer, which is a challenging time for our blood vessels, so it's a good opportunity to try it.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully you're taking advantage of it. But have you heard? We wait for
Yes.
this once a year and once a year only, done as never before. It's our best